We are the keepers of the flame, the sacred order. Let the ceremony begin.
On today, Faithful Acolytes, we take a look at this. And what this is from Maritime Madness, it is the Frig. Well, that's hot. Friggin' hot sauce. And the idea is supposed to be, what does sauce extra fort mean? I suppose that's supposed to mean hot. Is fort a word for hot? Somewhere? In a language somewhere? I don't know. Interesting. This is, of course, a Canadian hot sauce with the wonderful bottle. Obviously, it's one I've liked quite a lot. These are an 8-ounce bottle, and you can see we're down the well pretty far here. I use this a lot, actually. This is kind of what I've been mainly using as a Louisiana style. And there I was about to put it in a spoon without even showing you the ingredients. What the hell is wrong with me? All right, so habaneros, vinegar, water, tomatoes, apples, pure maple apples. Oh yeah, plums. There we are. Apples. Huh? Far out. Pure maple syrup, salt, xanthan gum, and vitamin C. Wow. I don't quite know what to make of the vitamin C part there. And yes, I am just going to pronounce that word differently. I like this label a little bit less than the others. But, I mean, there still is a nice view window here. So, it's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. This one, again, is cut the cap. Cut the top of the tip and whatnot. And then also get it all over the table. So good job me. One of the things I don't like about this actually is, let's just say that you don't have the cleanest cut on your, like certainly that isn't the case here or anything. But let's just say for point of argument, let's just say you don't have the cleanest cut. As if that is a possible thing. Yes, this is slop. I realize that. Yes. Please don't lambaste me in the comments. I'm admitting it here and now in front of you and the entire world and the internet's right here on the youtubes.com. But so it won't necessarily drain back into the bottle as precisely if you're not careful with it. So one of the things I don't love about that, but let's just say you're better at it than I am. Maybe you don't have that problem. Maybe you think you're just special. That what you think? That what you think? You probably are. I'm not going to argue. I don't know you. Any old way, so there we are. It's a nice red-orange sort of hue to things. It looks like a Louisiana style, I think. And one of the cool things about this, for me anyway, is the tomatoes in there. I really find it confusing that isn't used a lot more in hot sauces. I just find it a little bit baffling because it is. I'm trying to think of a sauce where I've had it in there and I haven't liked its presence, and I don't think there is one. Tomato is, I mean, there's a reason why, ketchup is arguably one of the number one condiments, and it's just because it is, so, I guess, well received by the palate so much. So, Italian food, pizza sauce, right? I mean, certainly tomatoes have a strong place, in our world, in our diet. So I just find it a little, I guess, surprising as I keep continuing to do this that I just don't see it more often. So, but I mean, maybe that's just an observation, for me, from me, by me. Who knows? Anyway, let's get into this thing and see just how friggin' hot this friggin' hot sauce is. Oh my God! Somebody call me a fire truck. Somebody call me a doctor. I'm kidding. This is it's a very tasty sauce. I really enjoy this a lot. Even by itself, you get a fairly nice, well-rounded sort of flavor from the tomatoes and perhaps even the apples. I think the apples are there to add that little hint of sweetness to it more than anything else. They don't shit like apple is a flavor that can easily get pounded by other flavors. That reference sounded a bit weird, but you know what I'm saying. Like, it's not that strong of a flavor. And so this one initially, it is a very nice building heat. It's a habanero. It is probably the hottest in their lineup. I mean, look, if you're a chili head, most of the time habaneros are candy. This, I will say, definitely reads as one of the hotter habanero sauces, though. And habanero is the first ingredient, so there's a bit of punch to this, but it's not really, like, I gave it a 2. It's not really, if you check out the written review available, following the link in the description down below, I gave it a 2 for heat. And it has to kind of build to that for me. I wouldn't say it's anything more than that. So I think this is probably maybe not necessarily a beginner sauce, but maybe a little bit more of an intermediate one. But I'd say non-chili heads could find much to enjoy there. All right, so what we got here is something they sell at my local grocery store called Surf and Surf. No, I'm kidding. It's a shrimp and crab with a K bowl is what they call it. And I don't know why they started selling this, but I don't mind crab with a K. I'm not proud. I don't mind a crab with a K. This struck me a bit. So it is very, very habanero forwardy. That is definitely, you will get a strong sense of habanero flavor. No question about that. I don't necessarily love habanero as a flavor, but this one struck me as this could be kind of a cool cocktail sauce. And so I got one of these and I thought, you know what? This strikes me as kind of a cool cocktail sauce. A lot of time people will just use chili sauce for a cocktail sauce, where it's a bit less vinegar forward than this, to be sure. But I think this is, well, let's not do it. Yeah, you know what? Screw up. I love me shrimp cocktails, shrimp. Maybe not to the extent of the one guy, you know, in the Forrest Gump movie. I don't think I've ever met shrimp I didn't like, except for the ones where they cook the whole thing. So I don't like the shells that much. No legs in the head. That I don't like as much. You gotta devein them. That's a must. So I will say this. I think they're, sometimes they give you lemons in here. This time they didn't. But I think they're better on this. The sauce is better on the crab. Because crab with a K is meant to mimic snow crab. Snow crab as we all know, has a certain sweetness to it. That sweetness in conjunction with this sauce is excellent. I should have probably got gloves or a fork. I get this all over my fingers. And no matter how much you wash them, you're not gonna be able to get that all the way off. And I'm gonna forget. And I'm gonna go use the bathroom. I'm very unhappily immediately remember. Oh, there's my night. One of the nice things about this squeeze bottle, they chose the right plastic, and you can get fairly precise amounts on here, which is nice. Normally these little trays are $10. They're on sale today for $7. Pretty much pure protein. No fat, no carbs. Unless there's some trace carbs in the sauce. Let's look. Well, not enough to register. And once you start throwing the vinegar in there, you change the glycemic index anyway. You can get a decent build here, particularly for habanero. This is actually a good example of, you know, what the characteristics we would expect from a habanero sauce. Where it builds. It isn't punishing out of the gate, but you keep at it, you can get a pretty decent build. Quite respectable. Like I said, I've been using it mostly as a Louisiana style. For that style sauce, habanero would never be my choice, first choice. But with a tomato here, I think it works out okay. Man, I did this so dumb. And I'm right-handed. Let's wrap this up here. It's not the heat so much as I'm getting full. Summer always tinkers with my appetite. Sure, everybody's like that. I mean, you look forward to shucking off a few pounds in the summer. This one's disintegrating. What the hell? I think I discovered what was on sale there a bit at the end. It tasted a touch stale. Oh well. Why do we have an immune system, right? We can't play old Captain Iron Guts, and what are we doing with ourselves? So, all right. So it says here, you'll be friggin' sweating, bud. I'm not actually, oddly enough, sweating. But I do have a, yeah, it's a, I'd say it's a good solid 2 for me, which is very respectable for a habanero sauce. Definitely the hottest thing I've had from them. But the other ones I wouldn't say are, really haven't been particularly challenging per se. So that's not really a ringing endorsement of for this being that hot. They have a 9 here on the flyer. 2 for me. I don't know that even non-chili heads would call this a 9. I mean, it certainly can build. Definitely, I'll give it that. Again, flavor-wise, I don't love habanero, so flavor-wise, I think it does okay as a Louisiana style where I've been using it most of the time. And I'll just leave it there. You know, in terms of usage, I would still prefer a cayenne because I think cayenne is a better flavored pepper for me anyway. But certainly I don't dislike this sauce at all. I think it's, I really like the roundness of the sauce. I do. I think it's a really interesting approach. And I guess it doesn't quite tick all the boxes for me, but I think it's super approachable. Like I said, it wouldn't be quite what a beginner would want to jump into, but I think as you start to become a chili head and then you start saying, okay, well, I've defeated cayenne, I've defeated jalapeno, I want something hotter. What is a good habanero sauce? I think this one is definitely one you could step into, and flavor-wise, it's certainly accessible enough. You know, with the tomatoes in there, and you really do get a sense of the habanero. So if you like the flavor of habanero more than I do, for sure, this is a good one to look at. But yeah, I don't have anything bad to say about this sauce at all. You can see it's, you know, I'm going to finish this out, no question about that. And we're probably out of an 8 ounce. I probably burned through 5 to 6 ounces of it already, and yeah, I like how this is playing out as far as a Louisiana style. Again, it's not quite a 1-to-1 replacement for me, but I've certainly had worse. Not a ringing endorsement, I know, but it's one that I find favorable, but I don't quite like enough to like, if that makes any sense. And so we'll just leave it there, but definitely respectable heat, particularly for a habanero. So good on Maritime Madness. And we'll just leave it right there. So that was the Maritime Madness Frig That's Hot Friggin' Hot Sauce. Now go forth in peace to serve the flame.